Hey everyone, welcome to stream. Oh god, it's saying my mic just peaked. Hang on. Yeah, okay, hi, welcome to stream. Today we're gonna be doing Gone Home, a personal favorite of mine. I'm so sorry, I'm later than usual. They should invent an autistic person who can sleep like a fucking normal person. But alas, I am here. So, yeah, before we get started, quick housekeeping as per usual. Exclamation point, map in the chat. Stands for Medically for Palestinians. The link will lead you to the MAP website. They are an organization that basically does what it says on the tin, gets very much needed medical aid to Palestinians. Please, please, please donate if you can. But of course, it's very important just to be protesting and making your voice heard. Exclamation point BDS in the chat. Stands for Boycott, Divestment, and Sanctions. The link will lead you to the BDS website, where you can learn more about the BDS movement and also gain access to the official BDS list. Exclamation point Palestine in the chat. We'll give you two links. The first one is for the booklet done by the lovely people over at Game Assist. It'll give you information on the situation in Palestine, how to get involved, common myths about Israel, connections to the gaming industry, stuff like that. Speaking of the militarization of video games, I think I might have mentioned this last stream. Sarah of Game Assist recently spoke on a panel. I forget what it's called now off the top of my head, but it was about demilitarizing gaming. Like, the video should be available eventually, I think, on the Game Assist YouTube channel, and you should definitely check that out. Anyways, so the second link is for Decolonize Palestine. The link will lead you to the Decolonize Palestine website. It'll also give you lots of good information on the situation in Palestine, important history, also a very good reading list. Alright. Let's just get back into the game. Yes. Yes, I know how this works. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to play any of the cassettes because I'm pretty sure they copyright music, even though they're fucking bangers. But alas, Twitch hates me.
Hi, Mom. So I got my ticket home from Europe. I get back on June 6th, but it's a really late flight because that was the cheapest, so it gets in at midnight. But don't worry, I'll get a shuttle for...
Shit, I didn't mean to rush that. I was trying to pause it. I wonder if I can put the subtitles on. Damn it, I need to fuck that up. There we go, display subtitles. Thank you. Sorry, that was my bad. Caitlin Greenbrier, Portland, flight number 270, date June 6, 1995. So yeah, this is set in the 90s. Katie, I'm sorry I can't be there to see you, but it is impossible. Please, please don't go digging around trying to find out where I am. I don't want Mom and Dad, Costa, anyone to know. We'll see each other again someday. Don't be worried. I love you, Sam. Well, naturally, I'm gonna go digging around. Yeet. That's key. Close that. Press 1 or I to check the contents of your backpack. Great, so we have passport, boarding pass, and the house key. Alright. lights immediately come on. That's fucking creepy. See, the atmosphere of this game is actually really good for creating what could be a horror game. And, like, I kind of get why people were like, oh, I thought this was going to be a horror game based on the way it was, like, constructed, and then it turned out to just be a story about a sad teenage lesbian. Like, I can kind of get why some people would be disappointed. Me, personally, I was fucking thrilled, but yeah, if they ever wanted to do an actual horror game, I bet they could definitely pull it off. I don't think I'm gonna look at absolutely everything, because I'm just not gonna, but... magazine... towels... more towels... soap. Packing invoice. Terrence Greenbrier, 1 Arbor Hill, Boone County, Oregon. I guess that's what that OR is. And 97141. Boxes, kitchen, quantity 8, boxes, master bed, 5, boxes, child bed, 6, boxes, overweight, library, 10, boxes, office, 4, television. Yeah. They have a lot of crap, basically.
Dear Katie, so much has changed, even just since you've been away. We moved into this house. I'm in a new school, and my big sister being gone for a year doesn't make it any easier. It doesn't feel real, but I'm not gonna let it faze me. I used to tell you everything, and if I can't do it in person, because you're off gallivanting around who knows where, I'll tell it to this journal, just like I was talking to you.
Yeah, so the deal is, like, the older sister was in Europe for, I think, like, a year, and they moved to a different house. Janice Greenbrier, Forestry Service, Goodfellow High School. What's that? Over the Alps, a novel traveling game. Yeah, okay. What's that? Trophies. Regional Track and Field Finals. April 21st, 1990. Girls 100-meter relay. First place. Almost overachiever. I think this one is... yeah, also first place. Girls long jump event. Regional Track and Field. Yeah, I don't think I ever placed in track and field once during my entire elementary school experience. Like, I think they would almost always just put me in softball because, like, that was the one thing, or shot put, actually. That was the one thing that I didn't, like, completely suck at, but everything else, it was just a disaster. Up the skull. This is pretty. Join Mexico. I wonder if it says made in Mexico. Based on context clues. It might. Nothing in there. Alright. There are these books. Fully viable. Great. I wanted to try and put a content warning in this game for, like, religious homophobia, but I wasn't sure how to put that as like a content warning. So I figured it would just be covered under regular homophobia. I guess that covers it. But there's definitely a lot of that in this game. Okay, this is so fucking hard to read. But I'm gonna try. Dear Jan, it's so good to hear from you again. All this new house business sounds like quite the adventure. Remember the little dorm room we shared freshman year? When we were miserable, fantasizing about our dream homes. I always said I wanted a mansion. You said you just wanted a house in the woods. Look who got both. Somebody up there likes you. I could use some of that magic. Send me some lotto numbers. I'll play them, seriously. But I shouldn't be complaining about this good old split level we've had since Bob got transferred to Winnipeg. We just got new vinyl siding. Jealous yet? Let me know if you ever want to trade places. So how are the girls doing? Has Katie left on her big European adventure yet? Speaking of jealous, right back soon. I miss you, roomie, Carol. God. Just straight women. Straight white middle-aged moms truly are something. That's all I can say. I mean, mine is pretty cool. Okay, I'll leave that lamp on for now. So I think I'm gonna go left first, and then up the stairs. Sam, Daniel from the old neighborhood called. He wants to come see the new house. Call him back. Mom, Daniel's a total weirdo. The only reason I ever hung out with him in the first place is he had a Nintendo when we were little. God, that's so fucking mean, but also kind of relatable. I mean, my heart pangs because I know that there were some girls who only wanted to be friends with me because of the stuff I had when I was a kid, because I was also a weirdo, so it hits me where I live, but yeah. Okay, answering machine.
Sam. Hello? Sam! Sam, where are you? Really? I need to talk to you. Please be there.
Hi, Mom. So I got my ticket home from Europe. I get back on June 6th, but it's a really late flight because that was the cheapest, so it gets in at midnight. But don't worry, I'll get a shuttle from the airport so you don't have to pick me up. Like, really, seriously, you don't have to. Okay, so, love you. See you soon. Bye.
Well, that's weird. Sam, Katie, Mom, and Dad, Jan and Terry. Yeah, I think that's us. And that's Sam, with her little flannel. Oh god, the way the lights flicker freaks me out. Hey, it's one of the postcards I sent. Paris. I have to try and... Oh, her writing is much easier. Hi, Mom, Dad, and Sam. I'm in Paris. I've done many Parisian things, including eating le petit déjeuner. Is that how you pronounce it? I'll assume so. And wearing a beret. I'm going to have lots of film to develop when I get back. Sam, I'm bringing you back something from the Shakespeare Book Company since you are my favorite sister. Love you all, Katie. Oscar Doc Mason. Oscar Mason, 60, of Boone County, died peacefully last month in his home. Mr. Mason was born on September 8, 1933, in the house that would be his home for the rest of his life. He attained his degree in pharmacy at a young age and returned to Boone County to practice. He quickly became a well-loved figure at the center of the community. In the decades preceding his passing, he was seldom seen outside his home. Service will be held this Sunday at the First Methodist Church at 1 p.m. All are welcome. His survivors include his nephew, Terrence Greenbrier, that's our father, as well as in spirit the people of Boone County, to whom he provided wellness and comfort. More on that later. DeSoto. So the question is, who is that girl? Welcome, new student. We hope that you're excited about your first day at Goodfellow High School as we are. Please be sure to bring the following with you on your first day of classes so that you can get right into the swing of things. One sturdy folder with pockets for each of your 6 class periods, crossed off, 1 lined notebook per period, or 1 large notebook with 6 divided sections, crossed off, at least 6 pens, blue or black, and 6 pencils, 1 box of colored pencils, those are both crossed off, a standard combination lock for your assigned locker. You have to bring your own lock for your locker. Wow, they're not even going to provide you a lock. That's annoying. Nutritious lunch, or $2.50 for a lunch provided by the school cafeteria. Wow, that's fucking cheap for a lunch provided by the school cafeteria. A positive attitude is not crossed off. That's fucking relatable. Please remember to get plenty of sleep the night before and be ready for the first bell to ring at 8 a.m. See you soon and again, and welcome. Great.
Oh my god. You are so lucky you finished high school before we moved into this house. So, it's the first day of school. And there I am, introducing myself to the class. And I say that I just moved into the house on Arbor Hill. All of a sudden, every kid in the room turns and just stares like I suddenly transformed into a mutant. I just stood there, pushing pretty hard for a rewind button. Because now maybe nobody knows my name, but they all know who I am. The Psycho House Girl. Great.
There's a bunch of fucking highlighters in this game also too. That's another thing that's funny. There's just like constant highlighters discarded all over the damn place. Pioneer SLD D703 combination laserdisc compact disc player. MSRP $999.99, so basically $1,000. CU CLD098 remote with blacklight, double-sided play, headphone out, display on off, jog, shuttle dial, front and remote, digital CLV, slow motion, freeze frame, last frame, memory, 2S video outs, Coax optical outs. I don't know what any of this means. Twin 1-bit D/A converters, S/N ratio, 116 dB, CD playback, 422 by 140 by 432 millimeters WHD. They say that a jack of all trades is a master of none. I have to disagree. Mastery is not a question of specialization, but sureness of purpose and dedication to craft. If you happen to be in the market for a combination LD CD player, you'll be glad to know that Pioneer seems to share this particular. So it's like a review of a CD player, basically. Glass. You can do better, Jesus. Back to basics. Sent back in time to Dallas, 1963 again. What if JFK wasn't JFK? Question mark, question mark. Oh my god. Yeah, I can't read all these, but Chinese crossed off Japanese, Lebanese. So I think this is the dad's office, based on context clues. The killing of JFK, a theory. Benjamin Allman. You've seen the movie, discovered the truth. Alright, this stuff. Electrical inspection form. Terrence Greenbrier. Property address 1 Arbor Hill, Boone County, or 97141. Policy binder number 009412A. Does the entire electrical system meet local codes? Yes. Are there any deficiencies that need correcting? Yes, no, unclear. If yes, describe in detail. Wiring in house is technically into safety and amperage requirements. However, multiple layers of wiring have been added into structure over the last 100 years. System is frequently unpredictable. Lights blink out for no reason. Pressure on floorboards and door frames disrupts circuits wired directly behind the surface. Properly reworking the electrical system would be highly destructive to the walls, floor, and fixtures of the structure. After discussion with Mr. Greenbrier, since there are no current safety concerns, issues will not be addressed. Great. Company name, Black Cat Electrical Co., license number 598941, electrician name, Harold Price Jr. I hereby certify that at the time of the survey, the electrical service at this location is safe and adequate, or I have noted said deficiencies above, yada yada yada. Okay, so that basically did an entire inspection form to be like, yeah, the lights are flickering on and off, but it's not like dangerous, so we're not gonna do shit. That's funny to me. Hi Sarah, how are y'all? I'm alright. Pretty tired. I didn't get any sleep last night. I completely slept through my alarm. Like a very silly person, so I'm starting an hour late today. But yeah, other than that, I'm pretty good. How are you? I heard about the panel and stuff, and I saw like all of your tweets and stuff. It looked really cool. I'm excited to see the video when it finally goes up on the Game Assist channel. I think we looked at all this stuff already. Yeah, okay. You know what? I'm just leaving the lights on. It's too much hassle to remember to turn the lights off. Yeah, I think this is the library. I'm so incredibly tired, but it was a very cool event. Met some cool people and played some cool games, went to some cool talks. That sounds really fun. Jonathan from Pop Culture Detective really seemed to really value my opinion more, which is nice. Yeah, it sounds familiar. I didn't know what Pop Culture Detective was before, but apparently it's a huge channel. Yeah, it sounds familiar, but I can't, like, place it. I don't know if I've seen any of their videos before. True stories. I was a teenage drag queen. Oh lord, here we go. Readers tell us about their worst moments. 90210, does anybody still care? The male gaze and how to subvert it. Sarah Holst, not gathering moms. God, this is so like chronically or like 90s or early 2000s. Full braid in her hair. I will watch the video essays at some point. He did a cool talk on colonialism board games. Interesting. Books. Yeah, I think there's A Stranger Under My Roof. The #1 best-selling advice book for parents of teens. Dr. Alyssa Medina. Oh boy. A Stranger Under My Roof. Understanding Teens. The teen years. Teen years are fraught with change of all types, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. But these changes don't just affect your teen. Your teen's turbulent years are a challenge for parents as well. Maybe the biggest challenge you faced yet since having children. This book holds insights into your teen's behavior from the very beginning as he or she first enters adolescence. I love how some people are just, like, allergic to the word they. Like, even, like, if we're not talking about, like, a gender-neutral pronoun. Like, just, like, it saves time to say they instead of he or she. It's one word instead of two. You think people would be more interested in, like, saving time in their writing or, like, whatever. But, whatever. Enters adulthood. The practical strategies here are based upon well-tested principles of pediatric psychology presented by Dr. Alyssa Medina herself, a mother of 2 teenagers. Prepare to gain new tools for establishing a productive, healthy, and loving dialogue with the stranger under your roof. It's so dehumanizing to refer to your child as a stranger under your roof. Like, it's not a stranger, it's your child. They haven't transformed into a completely new person just because they're a teenager now. Came back home and scrambled to finish the video essay and had work. Thankfully, I have a day off tomorrow. Yeah, that's good. I'm very excited to see the video essay. Uh, 0451. I think that combination's going to be important later. Dear Terrence, David asked me to write you regarding the reviews you've been submitting the last few months. Frankly, they're becoming more trouble than they're worth. From an editing standpoint, there is a word limit. It's your job to stay under it. It's not mine to... Not mine to cut back to it. Even then, it's becoming harder and harder to weed out the tangents and non sequiturs from the usable copy without heavy rewrites. The readers of home theater aficionado want to hear about the quality and value of the hardware, not ruminations on your childhood. If it were up to me, I wouldn't be writing this letter, I'd just be cutting you loose. There's tons of guys half your age who would take half your rate to write stuff I could actually use. But David's known you for a long time and he's the boss, so I'm giving you one more shot on his say-so. You should write him a nice note thanking him for his patience and generosity. Look through your old stuff and start submitting reviews like that again, and everybody will be happy. Brent Kirkwood, reviews editor, Home Theater Aficionado magazine. Nepotism. Yeah, 0451. I think it's this, right? There we go. Dear Mr. Mason, please find enclosed your original document and a typed copy for your records. The notarized copy has been filed at our offices. Thank you for entrusting our firm with this important matter. Sincerely, Jeffrey Wise. Kubilik and Wise, attorneys at law. Will and Testament. I, Oscar Mason, possessing full competence of mind and memory, and after full survey of valued items to my name, do hereby declare this document my last will and testament. The following shall hold true upon my passing. 1. I declare that I am a lifelong resident of Boone County, that I am unmarried and have no children. 2. I declare that I have no outstanding debts to my name, to any creditors living or dead. Interesting. 3. I do hereby bequeath every item of value of which I may die possessed, including the dwelling and surrounding acres located at Arbor Hill, as well as any and all personal property and moneyed accounts to my nephew, Terrence L. Greenbrier. Oh, Christ. Yeah, once in a while this house will just make weird-ass noises. Jr. of Ellis County. In the event that said Terrence L. Greenbrier Jr. should predecease me, then and in such event the bequest to him shall fall, and the same is bequeathed to his children as ordered by age and competence as stewards of the estate. I subscribe my name to this will and this 13th day of August, 1973, signed Oscar Mason. So yeah, that's how the family ended up with this house and got rich, basically. Yeah, I think we already looked through here. Yeah, I already looked in here.
Northwest Weather Service reports rain conditions affecting the following counties.
I think that's the TV, that sound.
Dawn County, the countless.
Hey, are you the new girl, Sam? I'm Tommy. I'm at the back behind you. Wave if you get this and right back. Hi, Tommy. Yes, I'm Samantha, and yes, I'm new. What's up? I just thought since you're new, maybe you could use a friend. I don't have a lot of friends either. And so, I thought I'd ask something if you don't mind. Do you mind? Yes or no? No, I don't mind. What did you want to ask? Was it just your uncle who went psycho, or does it run in the family? Yikes. What an
This is
asshole.
a severe weather warning. The Northwest Weather Service reports high winds and torrential rain
See,
conditions.
I think I mentioned this before, but this game is really good at creating like the illusion of something wrong, or like horror-wise, but then it's just your own imagination because the vibes are just creepy.
Stay indoors.
Okay, I'll reset the overlay.
Flood conditions are expected at lower elevation.
I remember thinking something terrible was gonna happen because it was so creepy with this all the sounds. Yeah, they deliberately set up this like horror atmosphere. And it's like, yeah, you really do think that it's gonna end with like something horrible, like Sam's gonna be dead and you're gonna like find her dead body up in the attic or whatever. But then it's like it actually has a happy ending and it's a pleasant surprise. I remember so many people were complaining about that. They're like, I wanted this to have like an actual like creepy like horror element. I wanted things to actually like be wrong and like and this, you know, like people were just like really mad about the fact that like it didn't actually like have anything horrible going on. It was just like basically the vibes tricking you. And I think it's a little weird that people were essentially complaining about like a lesbian love story ending in happiness, like especially in 2013. Like, guys, can we not just fucking like
rain conditions affecting the following counties?
let this go?
County, Boone County, Dawn County,
It's that book Dad
Winona
wrote.
County, and Wistaria County. Residents are strongly urged to stay indoors and secure all windows and doors.
Terry, hey man, how have you been? I know you're a published author and everything now, but my editor at Hi-Fi Aficionado has too much review work to go around, and he's looking for another freelancer. Naturally, I thought of you. You were saying in your last letter how much of a pain it's been trying to find a publisher for your latest work of literature, and writing stereo reviews is dead simple. Sit at home with a glass of scotch, listen to some records, and write it up. Write up how it sounds, and then get paid. I've included some issues of the mag to use as examples. If you're interested, send me some send some samples to my editor, and tell him your old college chum Mike sent you. Here's the address. Nice. Do it. The accidental savior, Terrence L. Greenbrier. John Russell, well, why can't I say that? Russell knows that the president's life hangs in the balance, but who would believe him?
This is a severe weather warning.
Yeah, he writes a lot of books around, like, trying to, like, prevent the assassination of JFK. And, like, you think it's just, like, a weird quirk that doesn't mean anything, but, like, the more you uncover, you start to realize the significance of that.
Secure all windows and doors.
Making friends, even when, I think that's even when you're shy. Sam thought this might help, Dad. Feeling lonely? It's a piece of cake to make friends. Never worry again about having friends to spend time with. This book will teach you to make friends, even when you're shy. Imagine, like, someone giving you this book, like, hey, you fucking suck at talking to people, here's a book to help you do it. Like, God, like, I appreciate the gesture, but still, oof.
You know that feeling where the first moment you see someone, it's like they have a big gold star around them, and you have to get to know them? Well, there's this girl. I think she's a senior. She's usually dressed kind of punk, but sometimes I see her in this, like, army uniform, and she's always drawing in this notebook, looking so intense. I had no idea how I would ever, like, have an excuse to talk to her. Till I noticed she and her friends hang out and play Street Fighter at the 7-Eleven every day after school.
I remember I heard that for the first time, and instantly I was like, wait a second, I know what's going on here. Like, I didn't know anything about this game before I started playing it. So, like, I didn't know how gay it was gonna get, but I heard that, and I was like, wait a second. Hang on, how do I crouch again? There we go. Hauntings and poltergeists. Yeah, and there's, like, ghost stuff peppered throughout this game. Find out the truth behind stories that were familiar even to our pagan ancestors. Discover how to tell a hoax from a genuine haunting, how to categorize and understand strange phenomenon you might encounter, learn about the unhappy spirits that share the earth with us, and what they can teach us about our connection with the natural world. Hey loser, I thought you could use some more social skills. Instantly gay vibes. Yeah, instantly. Just the way she's talking about her and describing her, like, I'm like, I recognize the sound of that voice. I recognize those little, like, you know, just the way she's describing her, like, that. It's all too familiar. The X-Files, of course. Friday. Let's see if I recognize any of this stuff. Boy Meets World sounds familiar. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. I do know that movie, actually. RoboCop. America's Funniest Home Videos. I remember watching those when I was really young with my stepsister. It's funny because, like, I would always want to watch, like, the stuff about, like, cats, like, doing crazy shit and, like, crashing into things or, like, bringing down entire plants or TVs, and now you can just watch that stuff online. Full House. Yeah. Okay. I was saying at the beginning of the stream, I can't put in any of the tapes because it's all copyright music, unfortunately. Which is sad because there's some serious bops, but alas. Did I already look in here? Is that supposed to be heaven at the edge of the world? Or haven at the edge of the world? Samantha Greenbrier, Grade 2, Story, The Turtle People, Part 1. Captain Allegra looked off at the ocean. It went on forever, so it seemed. Someday she would find the edge and get to the paradise there. Then she heard a cannon fire. Boom! It was the Black Pirate ship. She yelled, "I thought we lost them at the Horse Island," the first mate said. Looks like you thought too soon. The black ship came along the side. Captain Black himself came out on the deck of the black ship. He yelled to Captain Allegra, "You're never gonna find the edge. There ain't no paradise and your father were a liar." Captain Allegra yelled back, "Then why do you keep following us, you imbecile?" The first mate yelled out, "We'll stop you, Captain Black. We'll find the edge of the world and you'll see her father was no liar." Is it just me or is that not how you spell liar? Like, this is how, like, bad I am at spelling, but I honestly am not entirely sure, but I feel like that looks wrong. It might be an A instead of an E. The battle kept going until Captain Allegra's ship got away. Now west, she said, and the ship sailed towards the sunset. That's actually not bad for a 7-year-old. Reminds me of, like, I used to write stories like that when I was a kid. It was something I really loved to do. Okay. Living room. U.S. National Forestry Manual, Northwest Region, prescribed burn procedures and precaution. Yeah, that's another thing. They talk about this, like, controlled burn situation, and it does not sound safe or like a good idea. But I don't know much about trees, so who am I to say? Oh, hey, Rory. Sorry I'm late. I had to pick up my sister. How's it going? Oh, don't apologize. It's fine. It's going okay. I slept in, so I'm starting late. But other than that, I'm pretty good. I guess I kind of needed it. Yeah, I don't know if you've ever played this game before, but it's one of my favorites. It's very chill. Like, not a lot arguably goes on, but I do love the fact that it just, like, is an unapologetically a gay love story, basically, and you're just, like, discovering shit. I think it's fun. You deserve a nice rest. Thank you. I hope everything's going good for you as well. Yeah, it's a misspelling. It's liar, not liar. Yeah, I was pretty sure, but, like, I'm really bad at that stuff, so I, like, wasn't entirely sure. I was like, my brain could be tricking me. Yeah, I feel like I've mentioned this on this stream, on this channel before. Like, I may or may not have dyslexia, because, like, I really do struggle with, like, spelling and reading things sometimes, but who's to say? I don't really care at this point. Like, it's not really... I don't really care about pursuing any sort of diagnosis on that front. I struggle with, like, words, and it's just life, and it's not the end of the world. Like, I can get through it. It's not a big deal. No, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, yeah, this is funny. I remember this. Reproductive system worksheet, Samantha Greenbrier. Below are 2 stories. The events are all out of order. Can a sheet of lined paper write reproductive system worksheet at the top and choose one of the 2 stories, A or B, then rewrite it. Begin with the title and your name. Find a topic sentence to begin your paragraph. Put the sentences in chronological order. Make sure the last sentence is a good concluding statement. So basically you're like... You're describing, like, the menstrual cycle. And, like, putting sequences in order. And then she ends up writing, like, a whole ass, like, fictional story, which I think is amazing and hilarious. I think my mom actually used to do this as an assignment for, like, her grade 9s, where you actually have to do this, like, write an entire story out of it. Reproductive System Worksheet 6, The Menstrual Cycle, a novella. The early morning of September 1st, 1939. Or is that 7? I can't tell if that's a 7 or a 9. I think that might be a 7. Isa Glatz stares out the window of the train as it travels from Vienna back to her home village of Weilen in Poland. I probably mispronounced the fuck out of that, but sorry. As the train rumbles along and the sun rises over the countryside, she can only think of her dear Borislav, the boy she is engaged to wed. Meanwhile, deep within her guts, an ovum starts to develop. As this train approaches its destination, her heart races. The lining of the uterus is getting thick and soft. Jesus. As SS steps off the train, her eyes dart quickly across the gathered crowd. Then there, her dear Boris, still in his baker's smock. He must have dropped his early morning duties at his father's shop to come meet her. Her heart skips a beat. The ovary releases the ovum. It travels through the fallopian tube. Over the wheezing of the steam engines, a deep hum grows. It's coming from the sky. Dark shadows pass over the station. A whistling sound. Isa, her thoughts only a second faster than the bombs, reaches out towards her dear Boris across the crowd. Their eyes lock, and the moment freezes. The flash and smoke envelops him almost instantly. In the assault by German forces, almost 75% of the people in her hometown are killed. The rest, including Isa and, for a time, Borislav, huddled in a half-destroyed church. He is blind, his legs are missing, bandaged with torn bed sheets. Isa's egg will not be meeting his sperm. It dissolves. About 2 weeks later, Boris loses his grip on life. Isa has given up her rations to keep Boris alive, but in the end, nothing can save him. Since the lining of the uterus is not needed for pregnancy, it comes out through the vagina. Isa vows to survive. She sets out to join the Polish resistance as a daring spy and saboteur. Another ovum starts to develop in one of the ovaries, and the process begins again. It's incredible how the female body knows how to prepare for pregnancy. And my teacher just wrote, "See me." I don't know why you're mad. She took the assignment and made it better. This is actually really creative. Like, I think it's hilarious when teachers get, like, mad when you don't, like, do exactly what they want, but still technically fulfill the guidelines. You just take it and you make something, like, more, arguably more creative, and you're gonna be mad about it. Like, that's weird. World history textbook. Okay, I'll keep that on for now. Let me reset the overlay. Very fair. Someone asked me if I considered dyspraxia, if I considered a dyspraxia diagnosis the other day, and I was like, don't worry, I don't want to know. I get by. Yeah, I think dyspraxia is like the you aren't coordinated one, but like, do you really need a diagnosis for that? Like, I get if some people feel like they do, then like I'm not going to shade them for that. Like, especially if you don't have any other like diagnoses and you need like accommodations of some kind, then like that's totally fine. But like, yeah, like if it's not something you need, then like who cares? It's not a big deal. She went above and beyond, bitch. Don't punish her. Yeah, exactly, for real. Oh, I think that record's probably copyright music too, so we can't play it. Hang on, I need another light over here. Samantha, give this to your mother. Janice, thank you for having Danny over to your new home. He has missed having his friend Samantha in the neighborhood very much. Danny asked if he could lend Samantha his Nintendo Street Fighting tape, and I gave my permission. He needs to spend less time with those games anyway. No hurry returning it. Let Samantha know that she's welcome back to our house to visit anytime. Sincerely, Mary Schwartz, I think that is. Or Schutz. I can't tell. I can't read cursive.
When you live in one place your whole life, your next door neighbor is kind of like your default friend.
The funny thing is,
and Daniel only got weirder over the years. So moving away has been a good excuse to, like, not see him anymore. But he did always have the good Nintendo games. Maybe I'll give him a call.
Don't be a dick. It's funny because, like, I get what she means in the sense of, like, default friends. Like, especially when you're a kid, like, you just play with your next door neighbors because proximity and, like, they're there and you're all children. And you don't really need to have stuff in common at that age. You can just all be children and relate to each other through that. But, like, as you get older, it's like, oh, we're completely different people and I don't actually like you anymore. But she's being kind of judgmental with the way she phrased that. March 8th, 1976. Dear Mr. Greenbrier, I write to inform you that unfortunately Mercury Books will be unable to publish your follow-up to The Accidental Pariah. Despite the low sales of The Accidental Savior, we went ahead with the publication of the second book in hopes of the John Russell series catching on. However, sales of the second book have been in fact lower than those of the first, and so our stewardship of the series must end here. It has been a pleasure working as your publisher, and we wish you and John Russell the best in your future endeavors. Sincerely, Donald Phipps, publisher of Mercury Books Incorporated. Yeah, so he wrote a sequel, and it didn't do well because the first book didn't actually do great. So that's probably why he took the job, like, reviewing electronics and shit. Okay, I think I can... Wait, I just want to look to see if there's anything else in here. Yeah, this is just more of his books. Yeah. What's that from? This is the thing about being rich. Like, what even is the purpose of this room? Like, you already have a library. You could put, like, the bar in the library in theory, or put the bar in the kitchen, depending on how big it is, or the dining room. Like, you didn't need a whole ass room for your records and a bar and other shit. Like, what's going on here? Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna leave the lights on just in case, I think. Actually, I don't think we need to come back in here, if memory serves, so I think we should be okay. Katie, please tell Mom and Dad, sorry about the stuff that's missing, Sam. Forget spaces and where I put things. Can't tell my left from my right sometimes, but it's literally fine. Yeah, I'm also the same way. Like, it's that, like, holy trinity, or holy, what do you call it? I don't know, quad thing of, like, dyspraxia, dyslexia, dysgraphia, and dyscalculalia. Like, I got a dysgraphia and dyscalculalia diagnosis, and I may or may not also have issues with, like, dyspraxia, because they tend to all, like, fold into each other, but I honestly don't care. Like, it's whatever, I get by. Like, I have a bad sense of direction, and I always get lost. Yeah, those are a lot of words, yeah. I have a bad sense of direction, and I always get lost and stuff, but it's like, whatever. You know, I think I'd probably be okay if we still just navigated using the stars and stuff. That's sensible, you know? Yeah, I don't know. I've never tried it before, so it depends on, like, who knows? But, like, I have ADHD also, so, like, I have a tendency to, like, forget how to do things very easily, even after I've just learned, and forget where I've been, even when I've just gone. So, like, that's part of the problem. So, like, if I had someone with me, it might be okay, but who's to say? I don't know. I've never actually tried navigating by the stars, so I might be able to do it, but I don't know. Okay. Hi, Lonnie. So if you wanted to come over to my house still this afternoon, that would be cool. I can drive. It's kind of far, but I can drive you home, too, so hopefully that's fine. Right back and leave this in my locker if you still want to, and we can meet in the parking lot after 6. Samantha, yeah, I'm totally in. See you there. I'm gonna kick your butt. Get ready.
So you know what they say about the best laid plans of mice and men? Yeah, turns out it applies to Street Fighter too. At least I worked up the courage to walk into the 7-Eleven and ask for a turn, but all that practice at home did not exactly translate in the wild. So after I was finished getting my butt kicked, I followed them outside while they smoked. And that was when she asked me if I was that psycho house girl. But then she said she's always really wanted to see the psycho house. Her name is Lonnie. She's coming over tomorrow.
That's gay. Just the way she said her name, like, her name is Lonnie. Oh my god. Girl. Katie, please, whatever you found, don't tell Mom and Dad, the attic. Okay, so that's locked. I think that pretty much covers the downstairs. So we can turn this off. I'm gonna leave the hall lights on though. I think we need to come back into the library at some point, so I might leave these on. That's okay, game. I know where I am. Let's reset the overlay. Controlled burn scheduled for Boone County. Boone County. Plumes of smoke will rise above the northeastern region of Boone County over the better part of next week as part of a Forestry Service run controlled burn of overgrown sections of the Flintlock National Forest. Forestry crews have been preparing the area for months. The burn operation will take place between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and possibly into Thursday, depending on speed of progress, according to the Forestry Service. In addition to removing dead and overgrown vegetation that can lead to wildfires in drier months, the operation will serve as a valuable training tool for the forestry and firefighting personnel involved, said senior conservationist Janice Greenbrier. Smoke will likely linger in the area through the following weekend. Yep, that doesn't make any sense to me. Burning the forest to save it from forest fires? That seems sus. I feel like I can imagine forgetting and then just looking up and then being like, wait, I can use the stars, and then that happening repeatedly. But I don't know, I've not tried either. Yeah. Read personal calendar. Monday, oh god, I'm gonna have to read this now. Monday, couples, bowling. Wednesday, cooking class, take apron. Friday, ballroom dancing, crossed out. Monday, couples bowling, crossed out. Wednesday, cooking class. Friday, ballroom dancing, crossed out. Couples bowling, crossed out. Ballroom dancing class, crossed out. We're only doing cooking classes on Wednesdays now. Wednesday, cooking class. Friday, ballroom dancing, crossed off. And like, we didn't even try couples bowling this week. Cooked the big meal for Terry and Sam. Yeah, so it seems like Mom and Dad's marriage is suffering a bit. Notice of temporary personnel transfer. Bruce Pendleton, head of personal state of Forestry Service. To aid in the upcoming prescribed burn operation, a ranger with expertise in the procedure is being transferred to the station at Flintlock National Forest effective September 2nd, 1994. Please see attached personnel file. The overseeing officer at Flintlock Forestry Station, senior conservationalist, I don't know why that's so hard for me to say, Janice Greenbrier, is charged with the supervision of transferred personnel. The duration of transfer will be based upon performance evaluation as well as the recommendation of the overseeing officer. Signed, Bruce Pendleton. Okay. For Sam, Bratmobile, Potty Mouth.
It's weird hanging out with girls. Daniel was around ever since I was little, and other girls? I don't know. But being around Lonnie is like instantly just right. I gave her the grand Psycho House tour and took my revenge on Super Nintendo. And it was like, I don't know, I finally found someone I feel normal around. I drove her home and she gave me this tape and said, "You have got to listen to this." I haven't stopped playing it since.
Oh, this gets to me. I think it's interesting what she was saying about, like, not really relating to other girls or feeling weird hanging out with other girls. Because, like, I feel like at first glance that could be interpreted as, like, not like other girls' behavior. But I think it probably stems from, like, being a lesbian. And, like, I can wholeheartedly relate to that, as well as, like, being autistic. Sam, stop leaving every damn light on in the house. You're as bad as your sister. Daniel called again. He wants his Nintendo game back. Daniel called. To whom it may concern, I, Samantha Greenbrier, am 17 years old, and I am therefore an independent, fully functional human being. The fact that you still forbid me from going into the city on my own is frankly absurd compared with Katie, who is only 3 years older than me, and yet you allowed her to go all the way across an ocean to another continent on her own. I just want to spend an evening in a normal, totally safe city on my own like a human being. Since you may also remember that I have my own car now, you can't really stop me. Your warmest regards, your daughter, Samantha. Hilarious. Yeah, that's the thing about teenagers. Like, you can't just be like, don't do this, or you aren't allowed to do this because, and then, like, leave it at that. Like, you have to actually, like, explain why you don't want them to do something. And, like, not letting your 17-year-old daughter, like, go, like, be on their own in the city, I think is stupid. Because I was allowed to, like, go out, like, with my friends without, like, parental supervision when I was, like, 11. And I think I started going downtown with my friends when I was, like, maybe 16-ish. So, yeah, that seems a bit overprotective. It can be internalized misogyny, but it can also be knowing you don't fit the heterosexual woman's script. Yeah, exactly. Like, for me, I think it was that, and also, like, being autistic and not relating to, like, traditional, like, markers of, like, girlhood and womanhood through, like, a neurotypical or allistic, like, presentation, and, like, being abnormal in that way. For me, it was those things, and being Muslim, different cultural background, etc. Like, very, very aware of what a girl was meant to be was straight, yes, but also white. Yeah, that makes sense. And feeling like not that in many ways. Yeah, that makes sense. I think lots of people who, like, don't fit into the, like, traditional in quotation marks, like, girl or woman mold, because society says that the, like, traditional idea of a girl or a woman is someone who's, like, straight and white and, like, yeah, like, allistic or neurotypical, abled, not disabled, like, cisgender, etc. And if you, like, don't fit into those things, then I think you have a tendency to feel, like, disconnected and distant from girlhood and womanhood. And, like, for me personally, like, I think a lot of that, like, sort of contributed to, like, feeling, like, a disconnect from, like, womanhood in a sense of, like, gender, and also, like, identifying as non-binary. Like, for me, it's always been, like, very heavily tied in with, like, not being what, like, society says, like, a traditional girl or woman is supposed to be, and not, like, relating to that. It makes you feel, like, sort of disconnected from that, and then you kind of feel like you don't really, like, identify or feel comfortable as, like, a woman. And I've seen, like, lots of lesbians in particular talk about that, particularly, like, non-binary lesbians. Like, I'm not a woman, I'm a lesbian. And, like, that's a pretty, like, common sentiment expressed. One reason your friends and you didn't go downtown much is everything that isn't boring is too damn expensive. Yeah, that's true. Things are expensive. like, we did go shopping downtown sometimes, but yeah, it's not overly thrilling.